Head of the developer team speaking. Greetings everyone, it's that time again when the developer team for B2B and B2C will share new information with you, update you on our successes, discuss our future plans for the second and third quarters of this year, and answer any questions you may have. Today, as usual, I'll share our updates, what we've been developing, what we've done, and what has happened. At the end, I'll answer your questions. We've accumulated quite a few questions today, so it should be interesting. Let's start, as always, with the GemSpace product, focusing on the B2C segment. We had a release on March 5th. This release included about 70 different improvements and fixes across various platforms. It was quite a substantial release, although in the past 2 months, releases have been fairly frequent. Still, we managed to do a good job gathering a large pool of tasks, from minor fixes to some critical ones. This resulted in over 70 improvements. On our side, the data migration process is ongoing. As I mentioned last time, we started working on user data migration and continue to do so. So far, everything is going quite smoothly. Data is migrating from Google's system to our solution. No major issues disrupting the migration have been observed. Our support and development teams monitor this process almost around the clock, especially during critical moments when the data transfer happens. So the process is progressing successfully. The amount of data left to migrate is decreasing. We've already started working on chat and message data. This data will be transferred soon. I believe the process is well established and is going smoothly with the support of our specialists and software engineers. What else is interesting? We are preparing a new release very soon. On March 26th, we will have another GemSpace release. It will include a fairly large set of improvements, over 50 items, including minor bug fixes and some significant enhancements based on feedback from our design team and user feedback. These will be introduced, improved, and added in this release. So stay tuned and update your applications on your respective devices. Next, we continue with what I consider our most important process, the creation of our core solutions that are shared between B2B and B2C products. This is mainly on the backend side. The client side is a bit different, with a shared code base and so on. Currently, we are working on bots and an updated search service. The process is ongoing, and new services will be introduced into our products soon. Moreover, we are also simultaneously working on several different features. This includes the wallet and call history features, and other products are currently being developed through grooming sessions and meetings. Overall, work is progressing intensively across all areas. As I mentioned earlier, we continue to migrate data, with migrations happening roughly every 2 weeks. Although there is still a significant amount of data to transfer, the process is ongoing and positively impacts billing, especially due to our move away from Google. In general, improving critical functionality is a constant focus for the team. We stay closely connected to our users and clients, receiving continuous feedback. Regarding task and feature prioritization, the team is actively working on what needs to be developed right now for the B2C product that covers everything we had planned. Let's now move on to our two B2B products, Cowork and GemTeam. We recently released a new version 2.1, zero across all platforms, with the calendar being the most significant new feature. As of today, the development team is fully testing this functionality on their production environments. From my perspective, the calendar is excellent and very convenient, especially for communication with colleagues, scheduling meetings, calls, and similar tasks. This feature is heavily used in daily work routines, business communication, and development processes. Our release also included a large number of improvements, both call-related and unrelated, totaling over 30 fixes and enhancements in version 2.1. New releases are coming soon, version 2. 1.1 is planned as a stabilization update with some improvements and fixes, including for the calendar. I should also mention that the calendar is available on web and iOS platforms, with an Android release expected soon. Currently, an important development is wrapping up, P2P encryption between clients, meaning secure chats. This feature is planned for the next major release in April, which we are eagerly anticipating. It is one of the key competitive features that set us apart from other products on the market. Additionally, we are adding new administration features related to how our server administrators manage users within their systems and companies. This includes improvements to system auditing. This functionality is being developed separately and will be included in one of the upcoming major releases as well, such as a record of user actions, which is quite important for system control on the business side, specifically for companies that want to use our product. Overall, the monitoring and logging capabilities of our entire product are improving. This is a fairly large task, and the feature has been in development for more than one sprint already. Centralized management of this kind of logging and monitoring will be very important for us in the next task, which is quite interesting and has just begun. This development is what we internally call communal services. Communal services, or more precisely, a communal system, is a setup where many companies can use our product on our servers. The core aspect of our product's Cowork and Gem team was that they are on-premises solutions, installed directly on the customer servers, on their hardware, and monitored by the customer. However, there is now strong demand from small businesses for our products. So we are going to introduce new functionality where our servers will host Cowork and Gem team for owners of small companies and small businesses, allowing them to use the products without investing in or managing their own infrastructure. We provide this functionality directly with our product out of the box, which is very appealing to many small companies. This direction is already in development, and I believe it will be highly sought after by a certain segment of businesses. Now, moving on traditionally to your questions. There are quite a few questions today, so let's get started. We've moved away from Google servers. In which countries are our servers currently located? This is an interesting question and requires some explanation. We have moved away from Google services, which were provided by Google as a B2B, business-to-business solution regarding our servers themselves, physically as hardware. Simply put, they are currently located in several zones. The majority are in the Central European zone. I can't specify the exact data centers because this information is confidential. Generally, our large data centers in Europe are located in Germany, the second largest region where our servers are located in North America, USA. Please provide a detailed explanation regarding the implementation of features like stories in Gem Space. We all understand that stories are currently a very effective tool for attracting users and, most importantly, for blogging or promoting any online business. We also ask that you address and resolve the issue regarding phone screen recording. Only half the screen is being recorded. When will these important features be implemented and work properly? People have been waiting for this functionality for a very long time. I'll start from the end. Regarding sharing and screen recording, this feature is currently in development and is being fixed so that full screen recording will be possible. So this is already underway. As for stories, the development focus has shifted somewhat to other functionalities today, but stories are also in our plans. Stories are an important task. As soon as business and marketing can prioritize the stories task, development will immediately begin on it. Developers have been talking about the development of stories for several years now. Now, with all the issues surrounding Telegram, this would be very timely, as it's a highly sought after feature on this platform, and it would really help us with a smooth transition. Are there any specific plans with timelines? Again, I can't provide timing plans today because our plans are very responsive to any changes in global trends, the messenger market overall, and we pay attention to feedback from users, not only of our product, but also other products to actively respond to the situation and provide various functionalities directly to users for specific situations and dates. Or, as in this case, we have information that a potential blocking of Telegram in Russia is possible. So, regarding this information, we have a set of tasks, such as improving our search systems, because we expect an active increase in users due to this. Additionally, we are currently working on preparing our servers and capacities for such a possible influx. One of the critically important functionalities now, given the expected large number of users, is improving the search systems of our messenger. Since with a large number of new users, the question of how quickly to find each other becomes the most relevant. Therefore, today our work is focused precisely on this functionality. But again, I will return to stories. The task exists and is under development. It has been worked on by the development team. And as soon as we solve the most urgent and relevant tasks, and it is prioritized and added to the development plan, the development team will immediately start implementing this functionality. Was our AI bot developed in-house, or is it a third-party solution? I've noticed that its task execution differs significantly from Geekbot, for example. It's more precise in handling tasks. Will our AI be improved? Regarding bots, we're currently doing serious work to improve this functionality. First, the work can be divided into two parts. Developing the core bot solution. By the way, all the bots we've developed are created in-house. We don't use third-party AI engines, although we do have plans because the trend is clear. AI engines are widely used, including to identify user preferences to improve, for example, search systems. So, we now extensively use AI models that collect statistics and help improve various features of any product, not just messengers. So yes, such plans exist. Specifically for our bots, we have similar plans, but right now, the work focuses on creating the core solution because we've received significant demand from the business community for using bots in B2B products. Therefore, unlike some other services that could have been developed but were postponed, we prioritize bot functionality across all our products. Following the latest conference, you announced a replacement for the bottom buttons. Yes, contacts and calls are obviously necessary, but instead of spaces, it would be better to keep either the feed or channels. It's more familiar that way. That's a good suggestion. And we'll pass it on to our design and marketing department for consideration. We always collect feedback from our users to analyze it. From my perspective, it's also very important what kind of user you are and which products you use. Habits form precisely because of the products you use and get accustomed to. Often, people find it quite difficult to switch, for example, from Android to iPhone or vice versa. In such cases, it's a matter of habit, and changing it is quite hard. But that's a very individual thing. Our goal in developing our products is to find a golden mean that offers the friendliest interface and the best combination of features in our products. We do a lot of work gathering feedback, collecting information, analyzing the market, and studying products. Given all the recent VPN blocks, is it possible to build a built-in VPN into gem space to bypass these blocks? I'll answer like this. In general, everything might be possible. The question is with what resources and how quickly it can be done, and so on. Because after all, developing a VPN from scratch on your own, especially given the current acute news, political, and other situations, is quite difficult. However, yes, currently on the market, some manufacturers are already trying to promote the presence of a VPN as one of the features of their products. But again, I repeat, there's a nuance. Any development of this kind doesn't happen in just a day or two. Developing a VPN is indeed a very serious piece of work. Think of a VPN as a separate product that can later be integrated somewhere else. So, given the current situation, we have no such plans. But we always respond quickly to market demands. So if the situation truly requires such development, the development team will work on it. I read that our source code is closed source. This means that users can't verify that the app isn't actually leaking data. That's not quite right. Let's pause here for a moment for general understanding and clarity. Closed source code doesn't mean the user can check anything. Generally, users shouldn't be able to check anything. If a user can access and check, yes, that's what we call an open source application. But that concerns other developers, not users. Other developers can take the open source code and build their own products based on it. For regular users, usually a closed solution is preferred because users typically lack the qualifications, both in terms of business processes, the product addresses, and even engineering expertise, to understand the product. Allowing users to access, view, or worse, modify the code is a dead end. No one does that in the market. Now, regarding the second part of the question, can a user be sure that no data is leaking? Honestly, there's no way. Products have licenses and comply with requirements set by licensing authorities in one or many countries. However, the end user generally cannot verify this. Usually, no matter what you use or what device you use, if you are not an engineer or a reverse engineering specialist who can take apart the product and truly understand what it actually does, and with what information, an ordinary user cannot do this. This is actually a form of what is called foolproof protection. Because while the user is the user, if you give everyone the chance to view or change something, or even worse, to modify it, it leads to total chaos. Products don't work that way. I hope I have tried to broadly address the issue of users and source code. So, these are the updates we have today regarding B2C and B2B. Thank you all very much, as at this point I would like to pass the word to Valerie Ostrikov, member of the Board of Directors, to continue our conference today.